Have you ever wondered about the untold stories of the Buddha's family? What role did his mother, Maya Devi, play in his journey toward enlightenment? And how did her love and sacrifice shape the Buddha's teachings? Stay with us as we explore these questions and uncover the sacred legacy of Maya Devi. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, Son.Mindfulness. We're so glad to have you with us today as we dive into a story that is often overlooked. The story of Maya Devi, the Buddha's mother. In this video, we'll explore how her unconditional love and sacrifice laid the foundation for the Buddha's spiritual path. In a world where we often face uncertainty and loss, Maya Devi's story is a powerful reminder of the strength found in love, compassion, and selflessness. Her life and legacy offer valuable insights into the human experience and the power of compassion. If you're wondering how this ancient wisdom can apply to your own life, you're in the right place. At Son.Mindfulness, we believe that the teachings of Buddhism are not just for monks or ancient texts, they are for all of us. Our mission is to bring the timeless wisdom of Buddhist philosophy into your everyday life, helping you find peace, joy, and balance, no matter your age. We're here to help you live more mindfully, more compassionately, and more fully. So, what can we learn from Maya Devi's story? How can we incorporate her teachings of selflessness and love into our own lives today? Stick around until the end, and you'll see just how powerful her story is in shaping our journey toward greater inner peace and compassion. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insights into the timeless teachings of Buddhism. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. As always, I wish you good health, peace, and happiness. May you always be blessed with love and wisdom on your path. Now, let's dive into the fascinating story of Maya Devi, the mother of the Buddha, and see how her love and legacy continue to inspire us all. Part 1. The Birth of a Prince. The sacred birth of Siddhartha Maya Devi, the mother of Siddhartha Gautama, is a central figure in the early life of the Buddha. Her story begins in the kingdom of the Shakya clan, a small but prosperous region nestled near the foothills of the Himalayas. Maya Devi was the queen consort of King Suddhodana, a wise and respected ruler. Though she was surrounded by luxury and wealth, Maya Devi's story transcends royal life. It is one that marks a pivotal moment in human history, the birth of the man who would later become the Buddha. The dream of the white elephant, a divine message. The journey of Maya Devi toward motherhood is marked by a divine dream that would set the course of her life on an extraordinary path. One night, she dreamt of a white elephant descending from the heavens, entering her womb. The elephant, a symbol of purity and wisdom, circled around her 3 times before disappearing. This dream was interpreted as a divine sign, signaling that the child she was carrying was destined for greatness. In the dream, the white elephant represented a being of immense spiritual significance. The courtiers and priests interpreted it as an omen that her child would either become a great ruler or a great spiritual teacher. As Maya Devi shared the dream with her husband, King Suddhodana, the excitement was palpable. The king and his court believed that the child she would bear was no ordinary one, but one destined to either conquer the world or awaken to the ultimate truth. The journey to Devadaha, the birth of Siddhartha. As Maya Devi's pregnancy advanced, she experienced a profound sense of peace and serenity, reflecting the divine nature of her child. She felt a deep connection to the child within her, knowing that the world would soon witness the birth of a being of great significance. It was during a journey to her maternal home in Devadaha, a nearby village, that Maya Devi went into labor. While traveling through the Lumbini Grove, a sacred area filled with blooming trees and fragrant flowers, the time had come. In the midst of the grove, Maya Devi gave birth to her son, Siddhartha, standing beneath the shade of a tree. This moment was not just a birth, It was a moment of divine significance, as Siddhartha's birth was accompanied by the natural world's blessing. It is said that Siddhartha took his first 7 steps immediately after his birth. With each step he declared, "I am the chief of the world," pointing to the sky and the earth with his fingers. This miraculous moment symbolized his destined greatness, whether as a great ruler or as an awakened teacher. Maya Devi's joy was immeasurable as she gazed at her newborn son. The birth of Siddhartha was no ordinary event. It was a divine moment that foreshadowed the spiritual awakening to come. As Maya Devi held her child, she may not have fully understood the impact he would have on the world, but she knew, instinctively, that he was destined for something extraordinary. The prophecy and the significance of Siddhartha's birth. At the time of Siddhartha's birth, the court astrologers and sages made a powerful prophecy. Siddhartha would either become a great universal monarch or the supreme spiritual teacher, the Buddha. As the child grew, this prophecy was a guiding beacon for those around him. It would shape the way his life was directed, eventually leading him to renounce the royal life and embark on his journey towards spiritual liberation. The birth of Siddhartha also marked the beginning of the path to enlightenment for humanity. Maya Devi, though her life would be cut short, had given birth to a child who would one day lead many to the understanding of the nature of suffering, impermanence, and the path to freedom. Her role as a mother was just the beginning of the larger narrative that would unfold, a narrative of awakening, compassion, and universal wisdom. The legacy of Maya Devi, a mother's influence. Though Maya Devi passed away shortly after giving birth, her impact on Siddhartha was profound. Her love, nurturing, and sacrifice would influence Siddhartha's spiritual journey throughout his life. It was through the lens of compassion and motherly love that Siddhartha would later come to understand the importance of selfless love and unconditional compassion. Though Siddhartha was raised by his stepmother, Mahapajapati Gautama, it is clear that Maya Devi's legacy lived on through her son's teachings. The Buddha's teachings on love, compassion, and nurturing care are in many ways a reflection of his mother's influence on his early life. A symbol of compassion and wisdom, Maya Devi's story is also a reminder of the impermanence of life. Her life was brief, but her sacrifice and nurturing spirit continue to inspire Buddhists around the world. In the larger scope of Buddhism, she embodies the divine feminine energy, a mother's unwavering devotion and unconditional love. Maya Devi's story teaches us that motherhood and spirituality are deeply connected. Her love for Siddhartha and her role in bringing him into the world remind us that compassion and love are at the core of the Buddha's teachings. Maya Devi's legacy is not confined to the past. Her influence lives on through the teachings of her son, the Buddha, who showed the world that through compassion, mindfulness, and awareness, anyone can find peace and liberation. Her story reminds us that the path to enlightenment begins with love and sacrifice, whether it is the love of a mother or the compassion we show to others. Part 2. A Mother's Journey. The birth of Siddhartha Maya Devi's life, while brief, was marked by a deep and sacred connection to the future of the world. As the queen consort of King Suddhodana, she lived a life of luxury and privilege, yet it was her role as a mother that would define her legacy. When she became pregnant with Siddhartha, the future Buddha, she did not know that her son's journey would change the course of history. The dream of the white elephant, Maya Devi's connection to her unborn son, began with an extraordinary dream. In this dream, she saw a white elephant descending from the heavens, carrying a lotus flower in its trunk. The elephant touched her side, entering her womb and signaling the divine conception of a being of immense importance. This dream was interpreted by wise sages and court astrologers as an omen that her child would either become a great ruler or the supreme spiritual teacher. The dream not only marked the beginning of her pregnancy, but also indicated that her son's life would have a divine purpose. A purpose that would eventually lead to the awakening of humanity. The sacred birth Maya Devi's journey to Devadaha, her parental home, became the pivotal moment when her son was born. As Maya Devi traveled, she found herself in the Lumbini Grove, a serene and sacred space surrounded by beautiful flowers and trees. It was in this grove that Siddhartha was born. As Maya Devi reached out to a tree to steady herself, her son arrived, born while she was standing, symbolizing a divine arrival into the world. This was no ordinary birth. Siddhartha was born with the ability to take his first 7 steps, immediately declaring his future greatness with the words, "I am the chief of the world," pointing his fingers to both the sky and earth. The prophecy and Maya Devi's joy. Maya Devi's joy was profound. Her son had not only arrived with a miraculous display, but had already made a declaration of his future greatness. At that moment, it was clear that Siddhartha's journey would be one of extraordinary transformation. The prophecy made by the court astrologers was beginning to take shape, and Maya Devi understood the significance of her child's birth. She knew that Siddhartha would one day either become a king who ruled the world, or a spiritual leader whose teachings would transcend time and space. As the days passed, Maya Devi lovingly nurtured her newborn son. She cared for him with a deep maternal love, unaware that the very child she held in her arms would one day become a great Buddha, a beacon of hope for all humanity. The passing of Maya Devi, a mother's sacrifice. Tragically, Maya Devi's life was short-lived. Just 7 days after Siddhartha's birth, Maya Devi passed away, leaving her child in the care of others. Her death marked a moment of profound loss for Siddhartha, but it also reflected the impermanence of life, a lesson that would become central to the teachings of the Buddha. Although Siddhartha was too young to comprehend the depth of this loss, the motherly love that Maya Devi embodied would continue to guide him throughout his life. Her sister, Mahapajapati Gautami, became Siddhartha's stepmother and raised him with care and devotion. Mahapajapati played a crucial role in Siddhartha's early development, but Maya Devi's love and sacrifice remained with him throughout his journey. The Buddha would later teach that all suffering is rooted in attachment, and the loss of his mother was the first encounter he had with this universal truth. Maya Devi's influence on Siddhartha's journey. Even though Maya Devi's physical presence was brief, her influence on Siddhartha was lasting and profound. The love and nurturing that Maya Devi provided during his early life became a foundation upon which Siddhartha would build his understanding of compassion and selflessness. The Buddha's teachings on compassion, love, and non-attachment can be traced back to the influence of his mother. Her unconditional love, even in her brief time with Siddhartha, planted the seeds of his deep compassion for all living beings. Maya Devi's example of nurturing love reflected the very principles that Siddhartha would later teach as the Buddha: love, kindness, and compassion for all sentient beings. A mother's legacy. The eternal connection between Siddhartha and Maya Devi. Though Siddhartha grew up without the physical presence of his mother, her legacy lived on in his teachings. The Buddha's teachings on the impermanence of life, the nature of suffering, and the path to enlightenment were all deeply influenced by his early experiences with loss. Siddhartha's mother, Maya Devi, provided him not only with nurturing love but with the lessons of life's transitory nature, lessons that would guide him on his journey to awakening. Maya Devi's legacy also reminds us that spiritual awakening is not just an individual journey but a collective experience. The teachings of the Buddha were not only born from his own experiences, but also from the love and wisdom passed down to him through his mother and his family. Maya Devi's role as Siddhartha's mother was far more than a biological one. Her sacrifice, love, and nurturing spirit created the foundation for Siddhartha's eventual awakening as the Buddha. Her life and death reminded him that compassion and love are the true paths to liberation. And these themes would echo through his teachings. Would you like to explore more about how Maya Devi's influence shaped the Buddha's teachings on love and compassion? Her life remains an important part of the Buddhist story, showing us the profound impact of motherhood and the enduring power of love and sacrifice. Part 3. A Mother's Sacrifice, the Separation from Her Son. After the miraculous birth of Siddhartha, Maya Devi's joy as a mother was short-lived. Though she had given birth to a child with great spiritual significance, her life was tragically cut short just 7 days later. This sudden death was a moment of great sorrow for the royal family, but it also marked a crucial turning point in Siddhartha's early life. Maya Devi's passing reflected one of the central teachings of Buddhism: impermanence. In life, we are all subject to change and loss, and even those closest to us are not immune to the forces of time. For Siddhartha, the loss of his mother at such a young age was not just a personal grief, it was a profound introduction to the fundamental nature of suffering. Maya Devi's passing. The beginning of Siddhartha's understanding. Maya Devi's death was not just an emotional loss for the young Siddhartha, it was an early lesson in the unavoidable nature of death. Though Siddhartha was too young to understand fully, the impact of her death would remain with him throughout his life. The Buddha's teachings on suffering, attachment, and the impermanence of life were born from this early experience. Maya Devi's passing was significant not just because she was Siddhartha's mother, but because it represented the ephemeral nature of all life. Her early death taught Siddhartha that life is fragile and that suffering is inevitable for all beings. This realization would eventually become one of the foundations of his teachings, that understanding and embracing suffering is the key to spiritual awakening and liberation. The role of Mahapajapati Gautami, a mother's sacrifice passed on. Although Maya Devi was no longer physically present in Siddhartha's life, her influence remained through the nurturing presence of her sister, Mahapajapati Gautami. Mahapajapati, who became Siddhartha's stepmother, took on the responsibility of raising the young prince with love and care. Her role was crucial in Siddhartha's upbringing and education, providing him with the emotional and spiritual support he needed after his mother's death. It is significant to note that Mahapajapati Gautami was not just a mother figure, but also a woman who played a central role in the history of Buddhism. She was one of the first women to request ordination as a Buddhist nun, bhikkhuni, and through her actions she helped pave the way for women's inclusion in the Sangha, the community of monks and nuns that followed the Buddha's teachings. Maya Devi's enduring influence. Love and compassion transcend death. While Maya Devi's death was an early trauma in Siddhartha's life, it is essential to remember that her spiritual influence was immense. Siddhartha's journey to enlightenment was deeply shaped by the maternal love and compassion he received from her, even after her passing. The Buddha's teachings on love and compassion reflect the love he had received from his mother. Her sacrifice and nurturing care taught him the importance of selflessness and compassion for all beings, a core teaching in Buddhism. In many ways, Maya Devi became a symbol of the unconditional love that the Buddha would later teach as essential to the path of liberation. Her love and compassion were not just for her son, but extended to all beings. She gave life to Siddhartha, and through his teachings, she continues to offer a legacy of compassion that lives on in the hearts of those who follow the Buddha's path. A symbol of unconditional love and compassion. Maya Devi's legacy is a powerful reminder that true compassion is not limited by time or physical presence. Her love, though she did not live long enough to see her son's journey to Buddhahood, shaped the very core of the Buddha's teachings on selfless love. In Buddhism, love and compassion are not merely emotions or virtues, but are considered essential qualities for achieving enlightenment. The Buddha taught that to truly experience liberation, one must cultivate unconditional love and compassion for all beings, as Maya Devi did for her son. Maya Devi's influence on the Buddha also highlights the importance of family in spiritual practice. Her early death, while tragic, showed Siddhartha that attachment to loved ones is part of the human experience. But the true path to enlightenment requires transcending this attachment. Her love was an essential foundation for Siddhartha's spiritual journey, providing him with the understanding of compassion and selflessness that he would later share with the world. Maya Devi's enduring legacy. A mother's love continues to guide. Maya Devi may have left the physical world early, but her love, compassion, and wisdom continue to live through the Buddhist teachings. She remains a symbol of unconditional love in the Buddhist tradition, and her story encourages us to practice love and compassion without boundaries. As we reflect on Maya Devi's life, let us remember that the essence of Buddhist teachings is rooted in the love and sacrifice of those who came before us. Her legacy lives on, reminding us that to awaken spiritually, we must cultivate love for others, just as she did for her son. Would you like to explore how Maya Devi's love is reflected in the Buddha's teachings on unconditional compassion? Stay with us as we continue to delve deeper into the timeless wisdom of the Buddha and the teachings of those who shaped his path. Part 4. Maya Devi's enduring influence, her legacy in the Buddha's teachings. Maya Devi's life may have been brief, but her impact on the life of Siddhartha, later known as the Buddha, was profound and enduring. Her unconditional love, sacrifice, and compassion for her son laid the foundation for the spiritual wisdom Siddhartha would later share with the world. Though Maya Devi passed away shortly after Siddhartha's birth, her presence continued to influence his life, shaping the Buddha's teachings in ways that would benefit humanity for centuries to come. The role of a mother in the Buddha's awakening. Maya Devi's nurturing and selfless love were not just emotional attributes. They were foundational to the spiritual development of Siddhartha. Even though she died shortly after giving birth to him, Siddhartha would later attribute much of his ability to cultivate compassion and love to the care he received from his mother. In a way, the Buddha's teachings on compassion and unconditional love for all beings are reflections of the love he received from Maya Devi. When Siddhartha later entered the Buddhist path to find enlightenment, he carried with him the lessons of maternal sacrifice. His understanding of suffering was deeply connected to the early loss of his mother and the impermanence of life. Maya Devi's death was the first of many experiences that would later form the basis of his teachings on detachment, acceptance, and the nature of suffering. Maya Devi and the power of compassion. The Buddha's teachings on compassion were rooted in his early experience of Maya Devi's love. Her love was not merely that of a mother, but a selfless devotion that transcended personal desire. In Buddhism, compassion is one of the key virtues that leads to enlightenment, and it is clear that this compassion was instilled in Siddhartha through his mother's actions. In many ways, the compassion that Maya Devi embodied formed the cornerstone of the Buddha's vision of love for all beings. This is reflected in the Buddha's later teachings about loving kindness, metta, and compassionate action, karuna. Maya Devi's ability to love unconditionally, even in the face of impermanence, is a model for the type of compassionate living that Siddhartha would later teach to the world. The role of maternal love in Buddhism. The story of Maya Devi highlights the profound role that maternal love plays in Buddhist teachings. Though she did not live to see her son's full journey toward enlightenment, her love and sacrifice played an instrumental role in shaping his understanding of the world and the path to awakening. In Buddhism, the mother-child relationship is often seen as symbolic of the deep connection that exists between all sentient beings. Just as a mother nurtures and cares for her child, so too does the Buddha teach that we must extend our compassion and care to all beings, recognizing the interconnectedness of all life. Maya Devi's love embodied this interconnectedness, and through her, Siddhartha came to understand that true compassion is not limited by attachment or possession, but rather extends to all living beings. Maya Devi and the Buddha's teachings on love and attachment. Siddhartha's realization that all life is impermanent and that attachment leads to suffering was greatly influenced by his early experiences with the loss of his mother. However, while Maya Devi's death taught him about the impermanence of life, it also taught him the importance of love that transcends the physical world. The Buddha's teachings on attachment and detachment are not about renouncing love, but about understanding that true love is free from attachment. Maya Devi's love was a perfect example of this, as it was unconditional and selfless without expectation of return. Her ability to love without clinging, even in the face of loss, is a lesson the Buddha would pass on to his followers. In essence, Maya Devi's life is an example of the type of love the Buddha would teach, a love that liberates rather than confines. Maya Devi's legacy in the Sangha and the path to enlightenment. Though Maya Devi was not physically present to see her son's journey to enlightenment, her influence continued through the Sangha, the community of followers that Siddhartha founded. Her legacy of selflessness and compassion played a significant role in shaping the Buddha's teachings on the importance of community and the support system necessary for spiritual growth. Maya Devi's role as a mother also aligns with the Buddhist principle of the middle way, finding balance between attachment and detachment. Her influence is seen in the Buddha's teachings that encourage us to embrace life's experiences without clinging to them. Her life serves as a model for understanding that love, sacrifice, and compassion are not mutually exclusive, but are integral to the path to enlightenment. Part 5. Maya Devi's Sacred Legacy. The Importance of Motherhood in Buddhism. Though Maya Devi's life was short-lived, her sacrifice and love left an indelible mark on the life of her son, Siddhartha Gautama, who would later become the Buddha. Her love, nurturing care, and wisdom were not just qualities of a devoted mother, but they laid the foundation for the spiritual awakening of the Buddha. Her role in Siddhartha's early life, though brief, is one of profound significance, and her sacred legacy continues to live on in the teachings of Buddhism. Maya Devi's influence on Siddhartha's teachings. The Buddha's teachings on compassion, love, and selflessness were deeply influenced by the love he received from his mother. Maya Devi's unconditional love provided Siddhartha with the nurturing care that allowed him to develop a deep sense of compassion, which would later become the core of his teachings. It was through this love that Siddhartha understood that true spiritual awakening requires not just inner peace, but also a deep love and care for all beings. Siddhartha's path to enlightenment was not simply an individual journey of self-discovery. Rather, it was a path that emphasized compassion and connection to others, especially the love and care we show to those closest to us. This principle reflects Maya Devi's motherly love. Her sacrifice was an essential part of Siddhartha's spiritual journey. Without her selflessness, Siddhartha may not have gained the understanding of compassion that he would later teach the world. The power of motherhood in Buddhism. In Buddhism, motherhood is seen as one of the most sacred and important roles in human life. A mother's nurturing love is considered a divine quality that can transcend all other forms of love. Maya Devi embodied this aspect of motherhood. Her selfless devotion to her son was the foundation upon which Siddhartha would build his understanding of compassion and selflessness. The Buddha himself would later teach that true compassion is not limited by attachment or possession, but is a love that is unconditional and free from desire. This is the kind of love that Maya Devi demonstrated throughout her life. Her unwavering devotion to Siddhartha, even in the face of loss, is a lesson in how love can transcend both life and death. Maya Devi and the interconnection between love and liberation. One of the key teachings of Buddhism is that suffering is an inherent part of life. Maya Devi's death was a source of great sorrow for Siddhartha, but it was also a crucial part of his spiritual growth. Her passing marked the first significant loss in Siddhartha's life, teaching him that attachment to loved ones is one of the root causes of suffering. Maya Devi's sacrifice and her unconditional love also served as a gateway for Siddhartha to understand the impermanence of life. This understanding later formed the core teachings of the Four Noble Truths, which emphasize that suffering is an inevitable part of human existence. But rather than retreating from this truth, the Buddha's teachings guide us to face suffering with compassion and awareness, just as his mother had done for him. Maya Devi's legacy is also a reminder of the interconnectedness of all beings. Her life teaches us that the path to spiritual liberation is not an isolated journey. We are all interconnected, and the love we give and receive plays a significant role in shaping our spiritual growth. Maya Devi and the symbolism of maternal love in Buddhism. In Buddhism, maternal love is considered a symbol of compassion and nurturing. Maya Devi's story embodies this symbolism. Her love was not just for her son, but for all beings. The Buddha's teachings emphasize that true love is not possessive, but selfless and free of any expectation. Maya Devi's sacrifice represents the ultimate love, the love that transcends the physical realm and embodies the divine mother energy. She gave life to Siddhartha, and through his teachings she continues to offer a legacy of compassion and wisdom. Her story shows that love, sacrifice, and compassion are not just human emotions, but are pathways to achieving spiritual enlightenment. Maya Devi's legacy and the Buddha's teachings. Maya Devi's legacy is integral to the teachings of the Buddha. She is a symbol of the Divine Mother, representing the qualities of unconditional love, compassion, and sacrifice. Through the Buddha's teachings, we learn that the path to enlightenment involves embracing the love and compassion that Maya Devi embodied. The Buddha taught that true spiritual growth is achieved not only through meditation and personal discipline, but also through loving and caring for others. Maya Devi's sacrifice and love continue to live on in these teachings, reminding us that to awaken spiritually, we must first awaken our hearts to the love and compassion we share with others. Maya Devi's eternal impact. Though Maya Devi's physical life was short, her influence on Siddhartha's spiritual journey was profound and eternal. Her love, sacrifice, and compassion became the foundation for the Buddha's teachings. Through her, Siddhartha learned that true love is selfless and unconditional. And this lesson became a cornerstone of his teachings on compassion. Maya Devi's legacy continues to inspire millions of Buddhists around the world, reminding us that love, sacrifice, and compassion are the paths to spiritual awakening. Her story teaches us that by embodying the divine love that she modeled, we too can contribute to the awakening of others and live lives full of peace, love, and compassion. Would you like to explore more about how Maya Devi's love influences the Buddha's teachings on compassion and selflessness? Stay with us as we continue to unravel the profound wisdom of the Buddha's family and the timeless truths they imparted to the world. Conclusion: the timeless legacy of Maya Devi, a mother's unconditional love. In the story of Maya Devi, we witness the profound impact a mother can have on her child, even after her passing. Maya Devi's love, sacrifice, and compassion laid the foundation for Siddhartha Gautama's spiritual journey. Her love was not only for her son, but it extended to the entire world, shaping the teachings of the Buddha. We've seen how Maya Devi's death was a pivotal moment in Siddhartha's life. Her passing taught him the impermanence of life, a lesson that would later become central to his teachings. Even in death, her sacrifice and love continue to influence the Buddha's teachings on compassion, selflessness, and the path to enlightenment. Have you ever thought about how love and sacrifice shape the lives of others? Maya Devi's story reminds us that true love is not confined to what we can see or touch. It's about giving without expecting anything in return. Maya Devi's legacy is a timeless reminder that compassion is not just a virtue, but a path to spiritual awakening. Her love for her son transcended time, and through Siddhartha, her wisdom continues to inspire millions. Are we willing to embrace this kind of unconditional love in our own lives? Can we be a source of compassion for others, just as Maya Devi was for Siddhartha? I'm deeply grateful to all of you for taking the time to explore Maya Devi's story with us. Her love and sacrifice are powerful lessons that we can carry with us every day. By incorporating these lessons into our own lives, we can create more peace, love, and compassion in our relationships and communities. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about the role of a mother in shaping the spiritual journey of her child? How can we apply Maya Devi's wisdom in our lives today? If you've enjoyed this video and the wisdom shared, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Son.Mindfulness channel. We have more stories to explore, and I invite you to continue this journey with us. Thank you for watching, and I wish you all peace, happiness, and good fortune on your path. May you always be blessed with health, peace, and the joy of love. Thank you.